True digital security delivers assurance, clarity, and innovation to a complex world of information security, information technology, and IT governance. We are protecting and empowering a connected world.
I think the future is just that, and I think it's being played out. If you look at this movement of the cloud, in the past, if you were to rewind even 5 years ago, should we move to the cloud? What's the concern of moving to the cloud? Really, security was probably the number one factor. Can we trust the cloud? And from a security perspective, I agree. When I'm looking and advising my clients, they have robust security programs that have requirements from an auditability standpoint, from a control standpoint, and when you're shifting to the cloud, it changes the way those controls are managed and oversight and controlled. And so now whenever you're moving to the cloud, we have to reassess those controls. And so always the question is the IT provider, whether it be a Microsoft, an Azure, AWS, or some other private cloud, what controls do they give me to ensure my overall security? And case in point to what I was just describing, it's these layers. Just simply going to somebody that provides a cloud solution isn't sufficient. So all this to say that I think the future of security is more visibility. It's more visibility in terms of what is it, how do we as a vendor support you, and what are those security control requirements and considerations that you need to take in order to use my service. And you're seeing that more and more. You're seeing it mainly because either your customers are asking those questions. It could be that regulations are coming down. GDPR is coming down and saying, I'm forcing you. The SEC case that came down that said that you need to do more due diligence in identifying, tracking users and watching your user base. These things we're starting to get more clarification in terms of what it means to be secure. I once heard a case from a colleague of mine who's in the law. He's a lawyer, and he gave me a great analogy that I really liked in this space. And he told me that back in the day when there was a vehicle, first vehicle came out, were there stop signs? Were there you have to drive on the right side of the road or the left side of the road? Were there speed limits? There was nothing. Were there brake systems? Were there airbag requirements? Were there safety considerations? No, we just had a car. And then what happens? Well, the car got in wrecks and people started suing. And when people started suing, laws started coming into play. And as society got used to understanding this vehicle and what it meant and what it meant to the society and more people were using the vehicle, now we have more and more laws and we have more and more understanding, a better understanding of the vehicles that we drive and the safety features. So we're very much in that early stage of here's technology. Here it is in our business. Our businesses can now thrive. So we are driving around. So the question is, how many wrecks are we going to get into before we actually start making some changes? And as we're seeing it, we're seeing these laws and regulations come out. We're seeing questions from our customers about how are you protecting my data? So these things are coming down. I'm certain that there's going to be more court cases. There's going to be more SEC filings. There's going to be more lawsuits that are going to help better clarify and define what it means to, I protect your information. I secure your information. It's going to be something more than just putting on a website that says we use DoD encryption technology. What does that mean? What about key management? What type of encryption? How are you handling those keys? How do you distribute those keys? So there's a lot more questions that are coming around, and I think it's coming from those questions and more transparency.
True digital security delivers assurance, clarity, and innovation in consulting and assessments, cloud adoption plus security, managed IT, security operations, information technology, compliance readiness, and validation and testing.